What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. We're catching up on Real Housewives of New Jersey, because I keep forgetting about it. Like, we keep watching it, and I haven't watched the last episode. This is the 5th episode. I think I'm behind maybe 2 episodes. I'm not sure, but this is the episode called Turkish Delights. So I don't know if this is the episode where they invited all the kids over. Yeah, they invited all the kids over and to Jennifer's house to see, how she was living or whatever. She wanted to show the people her house. It starts off with Teresa and Jennifer going to a trampoline thing. And Teresa believes that with somebody else does the same thing on another reality show, another Real Housewives show, where they meet a woman and they automatically assume we have so much in common, I really like her, and then they end up fighting. I can't remember what other one, but Teresa did that with Jennifer. We're the same. We have the same values. Her Turkish values and my Italian values. We have the same values. And so she starts talking about Oklahoma, and Teresa tells her that some of the things that she said could have been deemed offensive. And she's like, okay. So she says that she tells Joe about that when she spoke to Joe, how he blew up like Melissa said he was going to blow up. And she then blames that on Melissa. Something is wrong with Teresa. Like, when go ahead and like and subscribe and comment. I'm trying to get this over with. I'm tired of shit. It's up late, so I'm trying to get this over with real quick. But anyways. So Melissa, she tells her, she said that, I told Joe and he blew up, and Melissa should have made sure that he didn't blow up or whatever. Jackie, she's talking about Evan. I think that's her husband. I don't know. I can't remember his name, but she said he's everything. And, she's sitting down. Yeah, I remember. She's sitting down. She's talking to him about the incident that happened in Oklahoma, and how she felt kind of sorry for Melissa, because Melissa was basically putting it on her that she was in control of her husband's emotions. And she asked her husband, do you think that I'm able to control you? And he was like, no. And she was like, I know. And only Teresa, there are women who believe and think like Teresa. Everything is on the woman to do. Everything is for her to control. They believe this idea. Jennifer told her some bullshit from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where the woman tells the girl, the man is the head of the house and the woman is the neck. She can make the head turn anyway. Girl. And then Teresa actually repeated that to Melissa, and everybody was looking at her like, bitch, you sound fucking crazy. You sound like a fucking crazy person. And this idea and Jackie's telling her husband that this idea that a woman can control what her husband does is really backwards, archaic thinking. Like, really believing that you can do that is not, that's not how people operate. It's 2019. People are not operating like that anymore. Women are not operating like that anymore. There are pockets and some women who are still behaving in this way or still have these beliefs. But I think the majority of women are not thinking that they control their husbands or they have the ability to control their husband's emotions. I don't know. Melissa, she's talking about how Joe feels offended that Teresa keeps suggesting that he's not a good son and that he is a good son, and he feels bad. So he's talking there. She's having her sisters over. Her sisters are about to come over. She was talking about how her sisters were older than her and they had to spend a lot of time. They got a chance to spend a lot of time with their father. She has this wonderful image of her father that I believe that little girls create and then hold on to those truths as they get older. I remember my grandmother used to always tell me that I looked at my father with rose-colored glasses and one day I would take them off. Like, it's like little girls, they look at their father in a way that other people don't see them that way, and it's understandable. But I think that because her father died so early, what happens is it's a fact that when parents die early, or they leave the child's life early, whether it's by death or something else, the child tends to create memories of the parent that never happened, and they hold on to that. And I believe that that's what Melissa is doing with her father. Her father was a cheater, apparently seemed like he had a whole nother life with a woman. He would leave for a few days and come back, and she was talking about how much her mother endured all of this pain, but then also she uplifts her father like he was this great man. You understand what I'm saying? And then she started crying, like she got emotional, because she probably understands it differently now that she's a wife and not a daughter so much, not looking at it as a daughter, but looking at it so as a wife, like wondering how she would feel if Joe would leave for a few days at a time and then come back. So she said she went and saw a medium, and the medium told her that she has another sister. Her dad came through and told her she doesn't have two sisters, she has three sisters. So she wants to find the sisters. The sisters were looking like, I know that he cheated, but he wouldn't make a baby. Like, he wouldn't, like, they really still have this level of respect for him. And then also saying that it's impossible that all those times that he was gone, that he didn't produce another child. They don't believe it. So they're going to, I guess, try to find Melissa's sister, or, their sister, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I think it's a great storyline to, be on this search. Look at the sun coming up, beautiful. Being on this search for this sister that a medium told you that you have. I think it's interesting. What else? Margaret and her mother, they're talking about Oklahoma, and said that Danielle is coming over because they had a little tiff the other day. Remember when she went over Danielle's house and Danielle was acting like a possessive fool about her being friends with Dolores. And let's see, going for the jugular. Oh, so she's sitting with Danielle Staub, who I think is another crazy freak, and she tells her that she doesn't appreciate her yelling at her, and then when they get into arguments, going all the way low by mentioning to her, what do you and Dolores have in common? That her husband cheated on her and you cheated on your husband? Like, that's what she threw in her face to let her know that she was upset about her hanging out with Dolores. Bitch, what? Are you crazy? Like, and people do that. Some people do that. They just go for the jugular. I could do that. It depends on the person, though. Like, it just depends on the respect level that you have for the person. If you decide to take the razor blade out the corner of your mouth, and let them have it. It all depends. So move past this. So she's like, I really want to move past this. And she was like, okay, I don't think that Danielle's going to move past it. Teresa, Joe visits her, and their dad just got his cataracts out, but he wants to take shots with his son. He's coming to visit him in the middle of the day. You can look at Joe and tell that he's at work. He has on jeans, combat boots, a sweatshirt, and a Scully. So you could tell that he was working. So he comes over in the middle of the day. Now, this is what we've been asking for Joe Gorga to do, right? Come visit your dad. Call him in the morning on the way to work. You know his old ass is up at 4 o'clock in the morning anyway. So call him up, right? And so he comes over. He has a shot with his father, and they take a shot, and he says, I got to go back to work. He stays for probably, we don't know how long he stays, but they cut it. It seemed like 2 minutes he was there. And Teresa, she's still looking like, I think Teresa is some kind of incestuous thing that she has going on with her brother. I don't want to say so much that it's sexual, more so that it's a level of intimacy with her brother that she doesn't want any other woman to have, and that she is in fact jealous that the level of intimacy, and intimacy doesn't always mean sex. So I feel like she wants this level of intimacy with her brother that she sees him giving to Melissa. And I think the way that she was questioning him, like it was like she was questioning him as if they were like in some type of relationship, and like following him around. And he was like, okay, come on, you know, you come over here, you visit, and then you act like you're the golden boy, right? Cause of your wife, cause you're your wife. She says, what did she say? What did he say? Oh, he brings up what Oklahoma, and how her and Melissa got into it. And she was like, Melissa told me, or whatever. And she was like, well, yeah, you know, figuring out a way to blame it on Melissa again, which I thought was, I just think it's so weird. I just think it's so weird how possessive she is over Joe, over her brother. Like, I really think it's weird. And she was like, I didn't say that. She was like, well, you said something about me not being around for the first year anniversary of our mother's death, and I went on vacation, and you wanted me to be around. And she was like, I didn't say that. That was Dolores. He's like, but you said something to Dolores. Why would Dolores say that? Like, why are you trying to remove yourself out of it? You were the one who mentioned it to Dolores, because where would Dolores get that? She wouldn't get that unless someone said it. Like, why are you playing? Like, that's why I feel like that's why I don't understand Teresa, because I feel in one instance Teresa is like a ditz, like dumb, like she can't grasp basic concepts. But then I also see that she's very manipulative. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she's very like conniving and like sneaky, like something wrong, and I just don't understand how the two can exist together. Like, I feel like she just, maybe that's an act. Maybe the ditz is an act, but she responds so slowly to things. Like, it takes her a while to, I don't know what it is, but it takes her a while to, I feel like she's dumb. Like, I really feel like she's dumb. But then the way that she behaves and she moves, she don't act like she's dumb. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know how to gauge Teresa, but she gets on my nerves. I think she's absolutely nuts. So he says, well, I got to get back to work. And she was like, what? And he was like, I got to go. And then he did something where he got upset again. And then that's where she was like, okay. And then she kicked like the punching bag. Like, she got mad too. Like, you're getting mad at him. He came over. This is what I feel like. You asked him to do something. He's putting forth the effort to do it by coming and visiting the dad during the day. He takes a drink with the dad, and then he leaves. This is what he has time for. You know what I'm saying? He's working. Like, I just don't understand it. And then that's what Joe said. Joe said, our father was not around when we were growing up because he was always working. I don't understand why she can't understand that I'm just like my father. I'm doing the same fucking thing. I'm out here working for my family. How do you not understand that when our dad did the same exact thing? And he has a fucking a valid point. Like, that is a valid point. Our dad did this. So, yes, it may not have been the right thing to do, like 100% correct, but look at how they live. He has a lifestyle to maintain. Look at how they live. Even Melissa said she wasn't used to how they live. She had to get used to the money. She had to get used to it. Joe makes a fucking ton of money, like, period. And you're over here building houses with everything, putting everything in a house. Like, I just saw a new house over there. I mean, a house for sale. So I'm just like, how do you not understand that? But whatever. She's unreasonable. That Teresa's unreasonable. So Jennifer comes home and she's giving the children toys. And I said, it's so funny because before the husband said anything to her, I said, those kids manipulate the shit out of her. She's buying them toys so they can behave, instead of injecting some structure and some discipline. And that's what her husband is telling her, that she needs to be more structured. And she says, well, you're not always around. And it's 5. Is it 5 of them? I don't know how many kids they have. Is it 5? I'm going to say it's 3. I don't know. 3 is a lot. 5 is too goddamn much. So she's like, I just need, thank you for your suggestions, but it feels like you are criticizing the way that I mother. Well, I know that parents don't like to be criticized for the way that they parent, but it's clear that these children manipulate you by acting a damn fool. Like her daughter, when she was in Oklahoma, talking about she couldn't sleep without her mom being in the house. Like, girl, no, go to bed. Like, period. All that shit, you're allowing them to manipulate you. And you're saying that it's because they're so unruly, that's the only way that you can calm them down, instead of applying some structure and applying some discipline, some consequences, some rules, something. You're just letting them go free fall. It's not going to that's not going to turn out well. It doesn't turn out well. So I need to put the heater on my feet. Dolores, she had her dog on the counter with her mom there. Her mother has diabetes. She eats cupcakes for breakfast. She had the dog on the kitchen counter. Her and her mom are cooking. I guess Teresa comes over and she was like, Joe exploded just like Melissa said he was. Putting it right back on Melissa. If you understand that it's his wife, one, she understands her husband's emotions, but she cannot manipulate them. She's letting you know, you keep fucking with him, he's going to blow up. He doesn't have the best control over his temper, clearly. We can roll the tape from the first season when he told Teresa that she was a piece of shit at the christening. And so they're sitting there with Dolores, and she was like, and blaming Melissa for everything. But then Teresa mentions to Dolores that Joe mentioned that she was mad about taking the vacation on the year anniversary of their mother's death. Dolores flips it on Melissa. I said, what is wrong with these bitches? I was like, wait, why would Melissa bring me into it? Are you crazy? Teresa is the one that said Dolores said it, but Joe is very clear that it was you who mentioned it to Dolores. But you're telling Dolores that Melissa brought you into it. I said, this bitch is, that's what I'm saying. It's something about Teresa that's very conniving. Like, why would you say that it was Melissa? You're the one that told Dolores. Dolores, as a way to defend you, brings it up. Melissa tells Joe what happened, which was the truth. Dolores brought it up, but everybody knows Dolores wouldn't have brought it up if it didn't come from Teresa. But Teresa tells Dolores, well, Melissa told Joe that you said something. I was like, girl, your ass is crazy. Now Dolores is like, I don't know why Melissa would bring me into it. Girl, Melissa didn't bring you into it. Teresa brought your ass into it. And you put your ass in it. So I'm like, these people are crazy. And she was like, she's just making things worse. And she's just putting everything on what's the girl's name? Melissa. I feel sorry for Melissa. If I was Melissa, what would y'all do if y'all was Melissa and you had a sister-in-law like that? I don't know what I would do. I know what I would do. I'd cuss her out. Period. It would be the end of it. Bitch, shut up. That's it. Like, I don't understand, right? I have a problem. I do. I will cuss you out. I don't give a fuck. Don't try and put me in shit. I don't want to be in this shit with you and your brother, but you're trying to make the woman responsible for how a man is behaving. Once again, here we are. These ain't even niggas. This is fucking Italians out here. Okay? So this is not just, exclusive to our community. This is something that happens across the board. Remember I said it? Women like to make other women accountable for the bullshit that men do. Melissa don't, and it's not even really bullshit that Joe is doing, but Teresa believes that it is. And so Teresa is blaming Melissa for it, which is completely wrong. Completely wrong. You need to control your husband. I was like, this lady is out of control. And they're at Jennifer's house. It's all decked out. She has all kind of food. Her mother is there making food. She has a bouncy house. They have a really nice house. And like Margaret said, it looks like a hotel. No, you can't come. You can't bogart into traffic, white lady. Not today. Decked out. Margaret says, you know, you brag so much about it. We're going to see. I think she said something to that effect. But she called it a hotel. Margaret was very critical. But the house is really nice. Really, really nice. Very gaudy. Very new money. Very, very new money. And even Melissa was like, I was the same way. When I was, you know, with Joe, when I first got with Joe, and they were showing, you know, old footage, and saying, you know, how she was like excited about all this material shit. And she's grown out of it, you know, respectively. She's grown out of that. We saw it. You know, we saw her being excited about the watches and the cars, and we saw that. And this is the same that's going on with Jennifer. So they had this big ass chandelier. She was like, she's really, you know, about the materialistic things. And like, to me, I feel like you can tell when somebody is new money, because they all are talking about the materialistic shit, what they can buy, what they can consume real quick. And that's what she is. Teresa starts talking about Joe blowing up again. And Melissa's like, bitch, why are you bringing this up right here? We're sitting down eating. Why are you bringing this up? Is your husband mad at me? Make sure. Oh, so Dolores, they were talking about Dolores. Jackie and Melissa go and check on the kids, and they start talking like while they're away. They start, you know, in private, start talking about what happened and how Joe is upset and how Joe got mad. I told you Joe was going to get mad. She was like, yeah. She was like, I don't understand why she thinks that you can control your husband. And she's like, you know, nobody understands what is her problem. And she was like, so Teresa and Dolores are also talking about it in another part of the house. And they're talking about it. And as they're talking about it, Melissa and Jackie walk back up. So they don't want to feel like completely like they're talking behind each other's back. So Dolores says to Melissa, why is your husband mad? Is your husband mad at me? Why is your husband mad at me? And she was like, he's not, one. And then Teresa interjects and says, I told you to make sure that he doesn't blow up. And he blew up. He was at my house and he blew up. She was like, well, I mean, I told y'all, so I don't know what to say. You get him amped up. Women have a way, she keeps saying, women have a way of being able to manipulate a man's emotions. Like basically saying, this is what she said. If you're upset, he's going to be upset. If you don't come to him upset, he's not going to be as upset. If he feels like you are upset about something, he's going to be upset. Now, when she said it like that, I understood. Because like if I'm mad about something and you bring it to your partner and you're upset, if they care anything about you, they're going to be upset. They're going to start sympathizing with you, right? And they're going to take on that and be upset for you too, right? But you cannot control how another person reacts to your feelings. Like it's natural to want to protect somebody that you care about. So if they're upset, you're going to be upset too. But Melissa, the difference is, because I believe that, like I could understand what she's saying. But Melissa didn't bring it to him as if she was upset. So there's a mixture of this idea that a woman can say, you know what, don't get too upset about it, but this is what happened, right? Versus telling him, you can't get mad about what I'm about to tell you. You can't do that. Like, you can say, I don't want you to get upset, I don't want you to get mad about this, but I can tell you and you can still get mad. Me asking you not to get upset is not going to keep you from getting upset after I tell you what I tell you. So you can't manipulate it. You can try to diffuse it. I can see that. But there's no manipulation here to say that you can control somebody's emotions. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I could probably turn the heater off. I just wanted the heater on my feet. So Jackie starts sticking up for Melissa because Dolores and Teresa are on Melissa's ass. It's 2 against 1. And Melissa's like, I don't want to be involved in this. I don't have nothing to do with this. And she's really trying hard not to get involved. Like, really. But I don't see why she should. She was like, you shouldn't have told him anything. That's my husband. I can tell him what the fuck I want to tell him. And that's what Jackie was saying. If she wants to go to her husband and explain something to him about what happened, she has every right to do that. That's her confidant. That's her best friend. That is her partner. You can't tell a woman not to keep shit from her husband. Like, girl, are you crazy that she doesn't want to keep from him? If she chooses to speak to Joe about the situation, then that's what it is, Teresa. And Jackie is sticking up. So then Teresa immediately tells Jackie, I don't even know why you're talking to me about this. You're not family. You don't have nothing to do with it. You don't understand. Teresa tells Jackie, because Jackie is Jewish. Teresa tells Jackie, you don't understand our culture. She was like, what? Bitch, don't do that. We're not doing that. That's not happening. You can't control a person's emotions, Teresa, and you just can't do that. She says she has every right to speak to her husband. And I'm so glad that Jackie was backing Melissa up, because Melissa was like, I don't even know what the fuck to do. Like, she was really out of sorts. Like, I just don't know what to do. What is this? 3, talking about Teresa and Marge, Danielle, and the shower. Oh, oh, okay. So that was it with that. So, I mean, the whole thing with Teresa, I just don't understand Teresa. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I think she's nuts. I think she's nuts. Teresa and Marge, I keep calling her Marge because I keep typing Marge because I don't feel like writing out Margaret. And Danielle are throwing a bridal shower for Danielle. Danielle's been married 3 times or been proposed to. What did Teresa, when she called her a prostitution whore? You've been married, engaged 21 times, you prostitution whore. That shit was so funny. So she says she's glad that Melissa stuck up for her, right? So she said Melissa should stick up for her. And they were talking about the situation with Melissa and Teresa. Teresa is just I think she's just making shit up. Like, there's some jealousy there. I think she really here's the thing. Teresa wants a husband like her brother, and she's jealous that Melissa has her brother, and she wants a husband like that. Her husband ain't shit, and she wants a husband like her brother. Joe is cool as shit. Like, he's cool as shit. I love how he likes to touch on Melissa. There was one scene where he kept touching. He was like looking at her dress, and they had gone over Jackie's house. And when she walked in the door, that nigga practically put his whole damn hand up her ass. Like, when she walked, he was telling her how good she looked. And when she walked in the door in front of him, the cameraman caught him putting his hand, like slapping her ass, but then he like grabbed it like right in the middle. I was like, Joe is fucking crazy. And she keeps telling Joe, stop. But she loves that shit. Like, I think she loves it. I would love it too. Like, he's just very affectionate to her. Joe Giudice wasn't like that with Teresa. Teresa sees all of this, and I believe that she's jealous. I believe that she wants a husband like her brother, and she's mad that this bitch has her brother, and how she treats her, and how she's taken care of. Like, Melissa's literally Melissa got just like a little store in New Jersey somewhere, but she's really taken care of. I mean, she's doing her own thing, and remember, she has said she wants to make sure she has her own, but she's really being taken care of, and nothing wrong with it if that's what she wants. Melissa and Joe, they're talking about Joe Gorga, talking about the communion for their son, and he's getting fitted. He's so cute. Giuseppe, he's getting fitted for his little suit for his communion, and Melissa then tells him, you need to talk to your sister. This is what Teresa keeps telling Melissa to do, and Melissa is doing it. But Joe don't want to hear it, right? So he was like, why the fuck do I need to be the bigger person every single time? She said, because you are. And this is what Teresa wants. Now, how he interacts with Teresa when he gets to her after the suggestion from his wife, then what are you going to do? She can't control how he responds to what she's telling him to do. I don't know. Dolores and her mom, poor eating habits. I think the mom said something about, she got mad because Frank, Dolores' husband, told her that he didn't tell anybody about being disbarred, but then the son says, well, he told me, and so she's mad again that he lied about saying he didn't tell anyone. That's your son. You act like some stranger told you he said something to you. So don't get mad. That's his kid. They're very close. His kid is not going to respond the way you are going to respond. At least he told somebody. You don't feel like he should have told you first. That's fair, but that's your kid. So you shouldn't really be mad at him or feel like, I can't trust you because you lied again. He told his kid, like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to understand where Jackie's coming from, because I would be mad that he didn't tell me, but then at the same time, don't get mad because he told your kid. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I could see if another man or another woman came, like somebody who wasn't your family, comes up and says something to you, then yeah, you could be mad. Like, you told a fucking stranger, you told somebody outside of our family, but that's within your family, so I don't see what the problem is. Jackie and Joe grabbed her butt. See, that's where it was. That's where it was. They went over the house of Jackie's house, and Jackie is with her husband. They're making dinner. They're sitting down, and they start talking about the party. Jackie shares what she shared at the party. I don't think that Melissa really wanted to say anything to Joe, because that's still his sister. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, I'm glad that Jackie told him, because Jackie, during the thing, I forgot to mention, during the interaction at Jennifer's house, Jackie told Teresa, if you believe that a woman can control her husband, why is your husband in jail? Why did you go to jail for something your husband did? And why is your husband in jail if you can control your husband? Melissa didn't like that. Now Melissa's saying she don't like Jackie now. That's it. And that's what Joe told her sitting at this dinner. He told her, my sister? You said that to my sister? She was like, yeah. There's a double-edged sword here. That's still his goddamn sister. So you telling him that you told her that, I am really shocked that Joe was like, okay, you said that to my sister, she's really not gonna fuck with you. I'm letting you know now, because you held her accountable, you called her out on some of her bullshit, basically, she's not gonna be cool with you. You're gonna have problems out of her. And I thought it was weird, because it's like, I don't feel like you should talk to people about their, like, that's your sibling, that's his sibling. They can be as mad at each other as hell, but when you start talking about them, you can't do that. That's my family. You can't do that. But he was like, good luck. Joe looked like he got mad, looked like he was irritated behind it. Melissa looked like she didn't want to say anything. And she was like, well, I just told her because I just feel like, no woman can control a man. And he was like, no, they're all in agreement. So Margaret and Melissa, they meet up with Danielle and they start talking about the situation. And Danielle feels like Melissa should have backed Teresa up when Jackie told her that you can't control your husband. Why is he in jail, and why did you go to jail for him if you can control him? And Danielle says that Melissa should have backed Teresa up. I don't understand. I thought Danielle and Melissa were cool. Like, I don't understand this. Like, why should she have backed Teresa up? I don't get that. In that moment, Teresa was wrong and Melissa had somebody backing her up. Who is going to back up Melissa is my question. Her husband clearly is the only one, and Jackie is the only one who has her back. And I don't think it's right. Lady, you driving so damn slow, you going backwards. What the fuck? Now you want to speed up because I got from behind you. Get off your damn phone. Let me get over it. These people crazy people. I'm almost here. So they're planning this girl's bridal shower, and she starts acting like a donkey, like bridezilla about her bridal shower. And Margaret gets up and she walks out and she's like, bitch, you've been married before. You're a grown woman. I don't know what you are trying to do, but you're being very selfish. You're being very unreasonable. You want all of these things, bitch. This is like your third marriage. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is not your first marriage. You're not wearing white. All of this thing. And Margaret was upset. Pay attention to me. What? Danielle's crazy. That's what I wrote. They had Danielle's party. I don't know where the notes are for that, but they had her bridal shower. She comes down on this swing. It was just so stupid. Like, I was with Margaret. Like, you trying to do all of this shit. You've been married before. How many times have you been engaged or proposed to or whatever? And you want all of these things. And Melissa's sitting there, like, at the bridal shower. Melissa's asking, you know, she got the strippers there. She all in the strippers have her pussy and their faces and their dicks and her faces and it's just a mess. And Melissa's like, oh, my husband would not like that if I was about to get married to him. So Melissa's asking Danielle, you know, how do you feel about everything? And she was like, oh, we're getting married, a destination wedding and all this other stuff. And she was like, no, I mean about your husband. Like, fuck the wedding. Didn't I tell y'all this all the time? These bitches get married to have a wedding. They do not get married because they want a husband. You understand what I'm saying? Some do. But a lot of it is just, I really want a wedding. I want a wedding. Like, the nigga could not show up. If you bitches didn't look absolutely fucking crazy walking down the aisle by yourselves, you would do it just to have a fucking wedding. I really, truly believe that. And that's what Danielle, she just wants a wedding. I guess she's never had a wedding, so she wants this my day and all this other bullshit, stupid shit or whatever. But anyways, I'm here, y'all. I gotta go. I'm pulling up and my parking spot is taken, so I got an attitude. Take care of each other. Tell me what you think of the episode. Peace.